Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a deep dive into how to totally crush your interview for a personal stylist position.
I'm excited for this.
We too.
Yeah.
So we've got a fantastic career guide with tons of insights and, of course, an awesome interview guide loaded with tips, tricks, and sample questions.
Yeah.
And we'll sprinkle in how RoleCatcher's AI can help you out along the way.
Yes. Sounds good.
So let's jump right in. What does a personal stylist even, actually do?
So basically, a personal stylist empowers their clients. It's all about understanding a client's lifestyle, like their personality, what their goals are, and then kind of translating all that, into a visual identity through clothing. You're helping people tell their story through fashion. You're helping them express themselves.
That's such a cool way to think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's get into the nitty-gritty, right?
Yeah.
The interview questions. We're gonna go through these 9 key questions that are outlined in our guides, and hopefully help you guys craft answers that'll make you stand out.
Right. Exactly.
All right, question number 1. What inspired you to become a personal stylist?
Ooh. Yes. The classic.
Right, it seems simple, but I feel like there's got to be more to it than just saying oh, I just love clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The interviewer wants to see, real enthusiasm. Like they want to hear a story, your story, that reveals what your unique path was to get here. Like what specific experience sparked that interest? Was there someone who guided you? Don't be afraid to get personal. Show off your personality.
Yeah, connect the dots, right?
Yeah.
Connect the dots between your personal journey and where you want to go, your professional aspirations.
Exactly.
I like that. Okay, so this is interesting. Our career guide mentions that personal stylists, a lot of times work independently.
Yeah.
So how can we work that into our answer for this question?
Yeah. You can highlight, certain qualities, right? Like self-motivation, being organized, and your ability to build relationships, right? Like maybe you freelanced or you've taken initiative on projects, stuff like that. Show them that you're able to thrive in an independent work environment.
Yeah, show them you don't need to be micromanaged. You can get stuff done.
Mm.
All right, let's move on to number 2. What do you think are the most important skills for a personal stylist to have?
Right.
This feels like we can really show off our superpowers here, right?
Yes, definitely. The interviewer wants to know if you understand, what it actually takes to excel in this role, right? So if you remember, our career guide really emphasizes staying up to date on trends, fashion trends, understanding different body types. It's really important. And building strong relationships with your clients. So think about specific examples that you have from your experience that demonstrate all these things.
Yeah, so instead of just listing skills, show, paint a picture.
Yes,
right?
yes, exactly.
So maybe you aced a challenging styling project for a friend or something.
Right.
Or you have a knack for finding the perfect fit for, everybody type, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what kind of follow-up questions could they ask for this one?
They might, dig a little deeper into a specific example, like how did you overcome a challenge or what did you learn from this experience?
Okay, be prepared to elaborate.
Yes, exactly.
Love it. All right, number 3. Can you walk me through your process for working with a new client?
All right.
This feels like we're giving a mini presentation within the interview,
A little bit. Yeah. It's a good time to showcase your professionalism and, that client-centric approach that you have. Like you really care about your clients. So outline all those steps that you take from the first consultation, right? Understanding their style goals, taking a peek in their wardrobe, seeing what they have, and then creating that really personalized plan.
Okay, so it's like we're taking them on a journey.
Right. Exactly.
Showing that we approach each client with care and attention.
Right.
Could they ask about feedback here? Like how we handle feedback from a client?
Yeah, definitely. The interviewer wants to see how you, adjust things based on that feedback and how you ensure that the client's happy, satisfied. Highlight your communication skills, your ability to collaborate to find those solutions. Because remember, the career guide talks about building that strong rapport with your clients. It's important.
Absolutely. Okay, question number 4. How do you stay up to date on the latest fashion trends?
Oh,
I feel like the answer to this is constantly changing.
right. That's what makes fashion so interesting.
Exactly.
It's dynamic. The interviewer wants to see that you're, passionate about learning. You're always learning new things. You can mention specific publications, websites, influencers, or even industry events that you follow. That'll show them that you're engaged and proactive.
Yeah, and our career guide actually highlights the impact of social media.
Yeah.
So if you're using Instagram or Pinterest or whatever it is for inspiration, mention that, right?
Right, for sure.
What about those trend forecasting services? Could they ask about that too?
Yeah, they could. Be ready to talk about how you use, the different resources to anticipate future trends and incorporate that into your work.
Okay. So showcasing your knowledge of the industry, right? The broader industry. All right, let's tackle number 5. Have you ever had to style someone with a body type that was difficult to work with? How did you approach it? I imagine this is about more than just technical skills here, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's about being sensitive and inclusive and making sure everyone feels good and confident. Choose an example that shows you're able to adapt, that you can think outside the box and find solutions that work for all different types of bodies.
I love that. Celebrating individuality, making fashion accessible for everyone. Speaking of making things accessible, our career guide talks about the importance of budgeting.
Right, yeah.
Could that come up in a question like this?
It could, yeah. They might ask you how you would approach styling on a budget or how you help clients figure out what the most important pieces are to spend money on. It showed that you understand, what the client's going through, the practical considerations that they're facing.
For sure, for sure. Okay, question number 6. How do you manage your time when working with multiple clients? Ooh, it's a time management test.
It is. This is where you can show off how organized you are,
Yeah.
Explain like what system you use, how you schedule, how you keep track of everything, of what the client wants, and how you meet deadlines. The idea of like a physical planner, a digital app, like whatever you use, show them that you can handle everything.
Yeah, so we can't just say, oh, I'm good at multitasking. We got to prove it, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Show it. Don't just tell it.
What kind of follow-up questions could come up for this one?
They might ask about a time you struggled with time management, like a specific example, or how you decide what to do first when you're really busy, when deadlines are, coming up quickly,
Right.
So be ready to give those concrete examples.
I like it. It's all about proof.
Yeah.
Okay. This one might feel a little tricky. Number 7. Can you tell me about a time when you had to handle a difficult client? And we all know they're out there.
Oh, yeah.
So how do we approach this without, sounding defensive or?
Yeah, for sure. So, this isn't about bad-mouthing anyone. Don't do that. It's about showing how professional you are and how you can handle conflict, how you can work things out. So choose an example where you successfully dealt with a tough interaction. Highlight your communication skills, how you're empathetic, and your ability to find solutions.
So we're turning a negative into a positive here, showing how we learn and grow.
Exactly, yeah.
Speaking of growth, let's chat about RoleCatcher for a sec. How can their AI tools help us kind of finesse our answers for these tough questions?
Oh, RoleCatcher's AI feedback tool is like having, an interview coach, but it's a computer. You type in your answer and the AI will look at it, suggest ways to make it better, highlight keywords, and even check if your grammar's good, if it makes sense. It's really cool. Make sure your answers are super clear and have an impact.
Oh, that's amazing. It's like having a secret weapon.
Yeah. Kind of is.
Do they also have a video practice thing?
Yeah, they do. You can record yourself answering questions and it'll give you feedback, with the AI, again, on how you're speaking, your body language, how you're presenting yourself. It's great practice and it helps you feel more confident.
That's so cool. So we can practice the content and the delivery.
Right, exactly.
Okay, this is awesome. Let's get back to those interview questions. We still have a couple more to cover.
All right, so this next question focuses on dealing with, rejection, right?
Yeah.
And it asks, how do you handle it when a client doesn't like your recommendations?
Ooh, that's a tough one. It's like putting your creative heart out there and having it, I don't know.
Exactly.
How do we approach this without sounding defensive?
Yeah, just remember that it's not personal, right? Clients, they have their own tastes, their own preferences, and sometimes it doesn't match what you think. The important thing is to show that you're open to feedback, that you're flexible, and that you're really focused on finding solutions that work for both of you.
Yeah, so it's like a collaborative process, not like my way or the highway.
Right, exactly. Okay, I hear you. You're not loving this top. Can you tell me more about what you had in mind?
Exactly, yeah. Active listening.
Yeah, exactly. Active listening. It's so important. Try to see it from their point of view, understand why they're hesitant, and then offer alternatives and adjustments while still, bringing in your expertise. And remember that interview guide really, really emphasizes that strong rapport and finding that, common ground.
Totally. Okay, question number 8 tackles a kind of similar theme. Can you tell me about a time you had to deal with a difficult client?
Yeah. So again, this is really about focusing on how professional you are and how well you work with people. Pick an example that shows how you stay calm, you listen to what they're saying, and you find a solution that works for everyone.
I'm curious, what kind of follow-up questions could they ask about this?
They might want to know more about like what specific steps you took to resolve the issue or how you kept it from, getting worse, becoming a bigger problem. Be prepared to give details and, explain your whole thought process.
Yeah, it's like they're looking for proof that we can handle the hiccups that come up, when you're working with different people.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, on to question number 9. How do you approach incorporating sustainable and ethical fashion into your styling recommendations? This feels especially important these days. Yeah, it really is. Consumers are getting like way more aware of their choices, and they're looking for stylists who share those same values. So be ready to talk about, what you know about sustainable brands, materials, how things are made, like do your research and be able to clearly explain your approach to ethical fashion.
It's like we're styling with a conscience.
Exactly. Yeah.
What are some resources that we could mention to show that we're keeping up with things?
Oh, there's tons of great websites, publications, organizations, that are all about sustainable fashion. You could even mention certifications to look for, like Fair Trade or I think it's GOTS, the Global Organic Textile Standard.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You're taking the initiative to learn about it and make good choices.
Right. It's not enough to just say, oh, I care about sustainability. We've got to show it.
Exactly.
Okay. And speaking of showing it, let's talk about RoleCatcher again for a sec. How can they help us make sure our answers are, like, tailored to specific job roles?
Oh, RoleCatcher's AI tailoring feature it's amazing, really. It goes through job descriptions and figures out, like, what skills and experience the employers are looking for. And then it suggests ways you can tweak your answers to, really highlight those specific qualifications.
So, like, if one company is super into sustainability and another one cares more about trend forecasting, we can adjust what we're saying.
Exactly, yeah. It helps you customize everything to really make a good impression on each company. You're basically showing them, hey, I've done my homework and I'm, like, the perfect fit for what you need.
Oh, that's smart. Okay, we've covered the 9 key questions from our guides, but I feel like a personal stylist interview probably goes beyond these basics. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
What else could come up?
So interviewers, they often want to see you like in action,
Yeah.
see how creative you are, how you solve problems. So be ready for some what they call scenario-based questions. It's like they give you a little case study and you got to think on your feet.
Okay, so like a fashion puzzle?
Yeah, kind of.
What kind of scenarios, like, what could we be up against?
All right, so imagine this. You've got a client who wants a really specific look for a big event. They have this vision in their head, but it's like totally different from their usual style. How do you approach that?
That is tricky.
Yeah.
You want to make them happy, but also make sure they feel like themselves, comfortable and authentic.
Right. It's about finding that balance.
Yeah.
And that question is testing how well you can, balance what the client wants with your professional judgment and your understanding of, a personal style. You can start by asking questions, clarifying questions so you really understand, what they're inspired by, what message they want to get across.
Yeah, it shows that we're listening.
Right.
We care about their vision. And then we can like kind of gently guide them towards options that use elements of what they're thinking,
Right.
but also keep in mind their personal style and their body type, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could even suggest like little tweaks, little variations that bridge the gap between what they want and what they usually wear. It's all about finding creative solutions so they feel confident and true to themselves at the same time.
So it's really all about communication and collaboration,
Yeah.
right? It's not about like forcing our style on them. It's about working together. What other scenarios could we get?
Okay. Here's one that tests how resourceful you are. Your client has like a really tight budget, but they want to like revamp their whole wardrobe, with pieces they can wear a lot of different ways. How do you do it?
Ooh, this one is real.
Yeah.
We all know how easy it is to just buy all the trendy stuff.
Right.
But building a good wardrobe on a budget and
Yeah.
making it, sustainable, it's got to take some serious strategy.
Exactly. They're testing how well you know different brands, different price points,
Yeah.
how you pick the most important items, and how creative you are in making the most of what they already have.
So like being a savvy shopper and like a mix and match master.
Right,
So,
exactly.
what are some things we could mention?
You could talk about, choosing quality over quantity,
Okay.
suggest focusing on pieces that never go out of style that they can dress up or down with
Yeah.
accessories, right? And you could also recommend like checking out consignment shops or secondhand stores for unique finds that are, way cheaper.
I love the secondhand idea. Sustainable, budget-friendly.
Yeah.
What kind of follow-up questions could they ask about this scenario?
They might ask how you make sure things are affordable and stylish at the same time, or how you guide clients towards, sustainable choices without sacrificing quality, looking good.
It's about showing that we understand, like, all the ins and outs of personal styling, and that we can
Yeah.
handle those challenges.
Yeah.
Okay, what other curveballs could they throw?
Here's one. Okay. You've planned this whole photo shoot or styling session, and then on the day of, something goes wrong. Like maybe it's raining like crazy, a piece of clothing gets ruined, a vendor doesn't deliver something on time. Oh my gosh, nightmare.
Right, so how do you handle that?
It feels like the stress is real.
Right, but things happen, right?
They do.
Things don't always go as planned.
Yeah.
So this is about showing that you can solve problems, that you can stay calm even when things are crazy, and that you can find solutions quickly.
Okay, so it's not about panicking, it's about having a backup plan.
Exactly, yeah. And a backup plan for your backup plan.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you can talk about having those backup options ready, being able to improvise, or even use the problem, as a chance to be creative. Like maybe the bad weather makes the photo shoot look even better, or, the ruined clothes give you a new styling idea.
Oh, I love that. Turn a fashion faux pas into a fashion moment.
Right, exactly.
What kind of follow-up questions could they ask about this disaster scenario? They might ask you for like specific times you had to, improvise or adapt really quickly, or how you would talk to clients in your team when, something goes wrong. It's about showing that you're professional, that you're focused on finding solutions, and that you're committed to getting the best possible outcome, even when things are tough.
I feel like these scenarios are so helpful. It's giving me a real sense of what it's like to be a stylist,
Yeah.
It's not always glamorous photo shoots and perfect wardrobes. It's also about rolling with the punches and being creative.
Right, exactly. And the interviewer wants to make sure that you understand that you're ready for the real world of the job.
Totally. Okay, and speaking of being ready, let's talk RoleCatcher one more time. Their AI tools could be really helpful for practicing these scenario-based questions, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That video practice feature is like perfect for that. You can record yourself answering and get feedback, with the AI on how you're talking, your body language, your whole approach. It's like a mock interview with a virtual coach who can like pinpoint what you need to work on and help you project that confidence.
Wow. I like the virtual coach idea.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing their AI tailoring feature would be useful here, too.
Yeah, definitely. So by, going through the job descriptions and highlighting those keywords, important skills, the tailoring feature can help you adjust your answers to those scenarios to match what each specific job is looking for.
Oh, okay. So we can impress them with how much we know about their company, their industry,
Oh.
even when things get a little crazy, with those curveball scenarios.
Exactly.
Okay, we've covered so much today. From the basic questions to those tricky scenarios, I feel like a lot more prepared and confident. But before we wrap up, I'm curious, what do you think about like the intangible qualities, the things that make a personal stylist really exceptional? We haven't really talked about that.
Yeah, that's a great point. So, the technical skills are important, of course, but a really successful stylist, they also have that certain something. It's a mix of their personality and those soft skills that helps them connect with clients on a deeper level, and really make it a transformative experience.
I love that. So it's not just about the clothes, it's about like understanding people.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's about helping them feel their absolute best through style.
So like some of the most important qualities would be empathy, intuition, that kind of thing.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And a genuine passion for helping people. A great stylist is the one who can listen really well, understand what their client needs, even if they don't say it, and create a style that reflects, their inner beauty, their personality.
It's almost like being like a style therapist, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, kind of.
Helping people find their best selves through fashion.
Exactly. It takes a lot of creativity, compassion, and a deep understanding of, the psychology of style.
Wow.
And that's not something you learn from a book, It comes from that genuine passion and wanting to make a real difference in people's lives.
I'm feeling inspired. So it's not just about the clothes. It's about connection, confidence, helping people express themselves.
Exactly.
Okay, that gives me chills. I'm feeling so ready to, revamp my wardrobe, build my styling portfolio. But before we get ahead of myself, let's recap what we learned today.
Okay. So we've covered a lot, from understanding, what a stylist does to answering those tricky interview questions. Remember, the most important thing is to show your passion, your understanding of what clients need, your skills, and how you can handle different situations. And don't forget, about those resources you have, like RoleCatcher. Use those AI tools to help you prepare, practice, and, make your answers the best they can be.
Yeah, it's like having, a whole team of experts in your corner, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so before we sign off, I want to talk about something that wasn't really in our guides, but I think it's really important for the future of personal styling.
Okay.
What do you think about the impact of technology on the industry?
That's a really good point. So, technology is changing how we shop, how we dress, how we think about fashion. And stylists need to be able to adapt and embrace these new things.
Yeah.
We're seeing all these personalized styling apps, virtual try-on tools, AI algorithms that put together outfits based on, what people like and their body type. It's pretty crazy.
It's like having a virtual stylist, 24/7. It's amazing. How do you see all this tech changing what a stylist does?
I think it's, creating opportunities for those who, are good with tech and can use these tools as part of their services.
Okay.
For example, a stylist could use a virtual try-on tool to show a client different outfit options without even being in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
Or they could use AI algorithms to create personalized style recommendations based on, all that data. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So it's like mixing, that human touch with the power of technology to create a really personalized and efficient styling experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of personalization, what about sustainability and ethical practices? We talked about those.
Right.
How do you see that changing personal styling going forward?
Yeah, so sustainability is not just a trend anymore. It's really changing everything about fashion.
Mm-hmm.
People are becoming way more aware of how their clothes affect the environment and, society. And they're looking for brands and stylists that, share those values.
So it's not just about looking good. It's about feeling good about our choices.
Right, exactly. And this is creating this need for personal stylists who really know about sustainable brands, eco-friendly materials, and, how things are made ethically. They can help people create wardrobes that are both stylish and responsible, lessening their impact on the environment and supporting ethical businesses.
It's amazing how personal styling can, make a positive impact on the industry, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about trends. It's about making good choices that reflect our values.
Yeah, exactly. And this whole shift towards sustainability, it's creating opportunities for stylists to, specialize.
Right.
Like maybe they focus on vintage or secondhand clothing or upcycling, redesigning, or even eco-conscious capsule wardrobes.
There are so many possibilities, right?
Yeah.
For stylists who are, all about sustainability, they can create their own niche.
Exactly.
Okay, this has been such an insightful deep dive. I feel like I get the personal styling world now.
I'm glad.
The skills, the trends, everything.
Good.
As I start this journey as a personal stylist, what should I keep in mind?
Stay curious. Keep learning.
Yeah.
And let your own style shine. That's important.
Okay. And don't forget to check out RoleCatcher. They have all these great resources to help you prep for interviews and land that dream job.
Definitely. It's so helpful for anyone who's trying to, figure out the world of work.
All right, fashion fans, we've reached the end of our deep dive. We hope you're feeling ready to conquer that interview and launch your styling career.
Best of luck.
Okay, so we talked about nailing the interview and all the big trends shaping personal styling, but we didn't really get into portfolios. And I feel like that's a pretty big deal, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A portfolio it's like your visual resume, right? It shows off what you can do, your style, your creativity. It's for clients, employers, everyone.
Okay, so what kind of things should we include? Does it have to be paid work, or can we put in personal projects, stuff we did with friends,
A mix of both is good. Paid projects show that you can be professional, meet deadlines, make clients happy. But personal stuff, that lets you experiment, get creative, show off what makes you you. And don't forget collaborations, like working with photographers, makeup artists, hairstylists, even other stylists.
Right, because it's not just about the clothes, right? It's the whole visual, the story. What are some tips for making a portfolio that really pops?
Good photos are key, really good ones. If you can, hire a professional photographer Or, find a friend who's good with a camera and team up. Pay attention to lighting, how you arrange things, all the little styling details. And don't be afraid to try different stuff. You can have mood boards, style guides, behind-the-scenes pics, maybe even like short videos to show how you work, your personality.
So it's got to be more than just like a bunch of pretty pictures. It's got to have like
Right.
a voice, show how we think. And speaking of showing stuff, how can we use our portfolio to highlight all those big trends we talked about?
Yeah.
Like the tech stuff, sustainability, inclusivity.
Great question. If you're like tech savvy, you can put in examples of virtual styling, that augmented reality stuff, personalized recommendations, whatever you're into. If you're passionate about sustainability, show off what you know about eco-friendly brands, vintage finds, how to upcycle clothes, and, make sure your portfolio is inclusive. Use models and styles that represent different body types, skin tones, backgrounds, like everyone.
So it's not just like showing what we can do. It's about our values, our vision.
Exactly. Your portfolio, it's like an extension of your brand.
Wow, that makes so much sense. Okay, this whole conversation has been like a light bulb moment.
Good.
I really understand what it takes to be a stylist now. So any final words of wisdom?
Fashion's always changing, so keep learning, stay curious, and don't be afraid to, try new things and see what happens.
Okay, and don't forget to check out RoleCatcher, everyone. Their AI tools are amazing. They'll help you with your interview answers, your portfolio, everything. You'll be navigating the styling world like a pro in no time.
Good luck out there. Can't wait to see what you all create.
That's it for today's deep dive into the awesome world of personal styling. Thanks for tuning in, and good luck on your styling journey.